Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik again, and this is the game War in the Pacific Advanced Edition. This is my play by Lodrik and Xargun. He is allied player, and for me it is Empire of Japan. This is scenario 1 with no modifications and on the game version 26B. And we arrive at the 6th January 42. I take the second last base on Luzon from the Americans, so now it's only Bataan. And at Wake I find a small cargo ship bringing supplies. Sink this one. Okay. And I also picking up now all the British bases at the northern end of Borneo. There's very likely no British presence left. So move in, take the base, or replace the flag, and then drive out again. Not really need to keep this bases guarded. This is west of Auckland, so this is the Auckland lane. There I find a cargo ship with sinking sound. Good. I try to intercept and interrupt all of the shipping to Australia. At least at the east side. West side is still hard for me to keep anything. And now we have the ground support attack in China. This is now a clear hex source of Wenchao, so my aircraft can inflict here more casualties, and this is working well. And the Allies are back with the Hudsons and SB-3, the Russian airplanes. I have here some Oscars intercepting and covering my ground forces. Long range cap is always a little weak, but something. If you have unescorted bomber forces like this, then they can help. And I kill here maybe 2 SP3s. Yeah. And you also can see that the bomb load of the Hudsons and the SP3s are reduced. I must check juncture if there's an effort of 3 or 4 now. These Chinese forces are still in the open, so they offer me to be attacked when I do this. Here's the same federation, clear terrain, so I go and take it. Many units off the map or the board, and there are really units dying, but more support, more or less. Airfield strikes, 1 flag losses, 1 more killed support unit. So all airstrikes over, entering the land base or land phase. I take now Wenchao, no one left. This is a broken army group, and they now finally surrender. And this is the crossroad between we are linking the Chinese cities here in Nanjing and also going to Canton. There was a unit is forced out, so they retreating. I win this battle. Hukong is only a bombardment. And bombardment of Bataan. Yeah, I can kill some units. This is good. This is also only consuming supplies from both sides. Second battle or first battle of Tarakan, I'm not more so sure, but I cannot. I have a little unlucky dice roll or whatever. Casualties are equal, and this is for me. I have triple the attack value or low attack value, so equally lost units is for me in favor. But I must take Tarakan sooner or later. This was Australian units, they're still holding out. This is the counter battery fire of Tarakan. Disabling one of my combat spots. Chinese bombarding me, nothing happens here. And it was a turn. So again, I failed to take Tarakan, let's say this. But in China I achieved some smaller victories again. But no navy battle, no carrier battle, so no real big clash. I was only able to intercept some incoming allied bombers. So air losses was light on both sides, so I killed 2 SP3s with the Russian bombers, but I lost one flag over Bataan, I think. Buffalo also crashed or was ops losses, I don't know. So I had, I think, 1 killed pilot here. And I also was able to sink 2 cargo ships. A small light cargo ship at the big island, the other one was on the way out or into Auckland. Yeah. But this is a very small standard cargo ship. So issue is here, you can see the first time I have now with Japan this information that not enough supplies. So I normally call in here 3 times 5,000, so 15,000 supplies, but the base only can find 4,500. So the supply situation in Japan is critical. So roughly 1 month after the start of the war, Japan is dry on supplies. You can see that this is always my indication. I always check Tokyo, and in Tokyo I have just barely the minimum amount, 3 times 7,100, so it's 21,000. So there's no backup supplies all of Japan. There's even supplies missing in many bases. Here I will normally call in also, I think, 15,000, and I have only 7,000. This is simply related to the expansion of heavy industry, engine industry, aircraft engine, and this cost all supplies. On the other side, I can also say that my heavy industry push is now over. So all my heavy industry is more or less up. The increase of heavy industry is done. I don't need to invest there anytime soon. And so in roughly 1 week, I would think that the supply situation in Japan is turning around to a better side for me. if you play, I mean, this is scenario one. This is always a problem. You don't have really enough supplies for everything, so you can also completely ignore to increase heavy industry, and then you have more supplies left. But in the long run, you will have less supplies to play with. Goodie. So in China, I took Wenchao. Here's always a question: how is industry? And it looks all fine. Only one each damage. That is standard, I would say. I also took this crossroad, so I cannot choose which direction I go. I took this crossroad. I defeated these 2 units. Okay, there's also a broken Chinese fighting unit moving source. I try to catch this one, and my next goal is normally to battle this Chinese army, especially if we are here open clear terrain, so I can use my air force to bomb them. Clear terrain is always in favor for the Japanese army to fight. And there's also no real road connection to this one. So the first halfway the Chinese can walk on the highway or the road with higher speed, but then later they slow down. So I hope I have enough time to catch up and at least kick them once and reduce their attack value by half. Nothing else here to see. Everything is stable. Burma, Rangoon, yeah, I took the base, no damage, so I sent my tanks behind, and also my HQ and the elite division of the Japanese army is, but they are slow. So the tanks will be first here, but I hope that my presence of my tanks force Xargun to walk in combat mode, and then my division is walking in move mode, so double or triple speed. So I can maybe catch and fight in Prom, and Prom is also clear terrain, the same situation. If I can defeat the British easily, then it's on clear terrain. At least early on in 42, later this may be changed around, and then the Allies, they would like to fight in clear terrain because they can control with their amount of units better the outcome of a battle. Again, the terrain is always in favor of the defender, but clear terrain gives you no bonus, or there is no defense bonus. Anything else? I still recover to wait for my next attack on Singapore. Bataan is the same, waiting to recover, getting the fatigue down, so maybe 2 days I can fight again. I was striking Tarakan, nothing really happens. My units are more or less still intact. This one is took more or less the disabled units, but the main fighting force, I have here still these 2 guys plus this one is supporting. It's still really a little weak force to take Tarakan, but I hope it's possible. And really nothing else. I shift a lot of equipment to New Caledonian, and I prepare here my invasion fleet for Fiji. Once I take Fiji, I think I took what is necessary to take. After this, it's really a question how far you want to go. It makes maybe sense to take Pago Pago and the smaller islands only to let the Allies have no good base nearby to take Fiji back. Let's say this. Good. I think here's my other carrier fleet, my first carrier fleet, you can say, and here's a small cargo ship. I see it, but thunderstorm, so no airstrike. So I more or less still here on blockade and try to intercept any incoming ships going to Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane. Brisbane is normally already cut off because I take New Caledonian, so you cannot go directly more to Brisbane. You can only go to Sydney or Melbourne, and then maybe hug the coast to go. But the question is why if you have the heavy railroad, then you can also rail everything up to Brisbane. Yeah. Good, then see you next time. Take care, bye bye.